Hi guys and welcome back. Today we are joined by Zoe. Zoe is a professional makeup artist that I had mentioned in one of my last videos. Zoe has worked with the best in the industry for the last 20, 30 years.
Nearly 30 years.
Yeah, so we have worked together through modelling, on shoots and on different things, and Zoe has done supermodels, actors, TV stars, the lot. She's the best. So it's a real treat now today to have her. And she's going to do, we thought it'd be a really nice idea to do mainly eyebrows today. Because eyebrows, Zoe's going to talk more about it because she's a professional and she's one of my favourite makeup artists in Dublin and she's absolutely incredible. So without further ado, I just decided to do my own makeup today. Zoe saw a couple of things that I'm doing wrong and that we all do wrong in our 20s, 30s if you're not professional basically. And so basically you're going to do something that will just take a few years off, which we all want. You know, I'm going to look 25 after this because eyebrows can be so aging.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
And they are the shoulders of the face.
Yeah.
So as I mean, somebody said that to me once and it's so true.
Just
and
makes sense.
Also, they change fashion. Makeup changes fashion every decade or so. I mean, if you think of the 60s, and actually if you go back further, I did a shoot and I think you were on it.
Yeah.
We were discussing this earlier.
Yeah. I think I remember that.
I was near the beginning of my career and I was absolutely terrified and I was looking at all, it was like a shoot that was based on different icons, female icon film stars from the 40s and 50s, 30s,
Yeah.
20s, whatever. And I was going, goodness, all their makeup's quite similar. And then I looked at them and I went, hang on a minute here, it's their eyebrows.
Yeah, that was
That
completely
actually
different.
show the different looks.
Yeah.
If you think of Marilyn Monroe, Marlene Dietrich,
Yeah.
Clara Bow in the 1920s, their eyebrows were really, and sometimes they drip right down, which wouldn't be recommended as you get older. by
Yeah,
the way,
exactly.
which is what we're going to talk
No,
about today.
we need all the help we can get to lift everything.
To lift. We'll
Because
start
that'll
with
do.
the brows. We'll start with the brows. So eyebrows do frame your face, as I was saying, and I do appreciate that a lot of people don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
You can have, as well as that, there can be things that you do that actually, maybe you plucked your eyebrows whenever you were younger.
Hello.
90s eyebrows.
Well, I was just going to say when we were modelling, Zoe used to model as well.
God,
so,
don't say that.
Yeah, hello, look at this beautiful face.
Oh, stop.
And the fashion then was the thinnest of eyebrows, wasn't it?
Really was.
They just plucked the life. Actually, you would have plucked mine as well.
I
because
would
that
have
was
done.
the fashion, yeah.
It really was. And my
Yeah.
tweezers in the back of my pocket all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's much more natural.
Yeah.
And again, I've read somewhere that thin eyebrows are coming back, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, I know. I prefer the bigger, bushier.
I think as we get older, it looks better if
Yeah.
you've got more of a brow. So what we're going to do, right? You do your eyebrows, and you've got such great space. I mean, isn't she gorgeous? She's got this fantastic shape from
Oh, the
here to
makeup
here.
one.
You know, you've used a powder, haven't you, in through your eyebrows?
So I use the Anastasia, the powder duo.
Yes, which is very good. And you can see here, whenever we open this up, she mainly uses a darker, which is because your hair naturally is a bit darker. And also, if you notice as well, as blondies,
Yeah.
I mean, naturally we'd be a bit darker. We're totally natural blondes,
Yes, we
right?
never get a colour
Apart
done.
from the grey down the middle here. But we prefer to have our eyebrows a bit darker. Another thing as well is, I mean, but as I said, some people, for example, prefer to have their eyebrows quite light. But one of the things is you have to be very careful of the colour you choose to go through your eyebrows.
Yeah.
As a blondie, believe it or not, we've got more green in our hair.
Yeah.
We're more sort of, you know, flat kind of colours.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one of the colours, I use MAC as well sometimes, and one of the colours that I would use through my eyebrows is a colour called concrete. And it actually is, if you think of concrete, it's kind of a flat, kind of greyish, almost greenish tone. And that works very well for blondes, or maybe a slightly paler, greenier tone. If you're a redhead, however, you might go for something that's a bit more orangey, browny.
Yeah.
Or sometimes even with some people's hair, I'd even use an orangey colour through their brows.
Right, okay, yeah.
But that for us would not work.
There's nothing worse than when you see people and their brows are the wrong colour and you're like going,
Yeah, it looks weird.
yeah, it looks so bad.
It looks so bad.
Yeah.
Another thing as well is you don't want to go too dark either. Because
Yeah.
some people, you know, their hair can be, they can almost go too dark.
Yeah.
And that can be aging
Yeah,
as well.
I think I've been guilty of that myself sometimes. Do you know what I mean? You
know
just
what I
go and you're running
Oh,
out
I've
the
done
door
it.
and you kind of, yeah.
And that's the thing. It's learning how to do it so that it suits you.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
The shape at the minute, right, in this particular time of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, it just changes, but at the moment it's just kind of straight up and down. You know, there's like a straight line and it goes down, right? And often people will have plucked back in the 90s right up in here.
That's right.
Right up in here.
Yeah.
So you end up looking like a little hook, or as I call it, the sperm eyebrow.
Yeah.
Do you know
I haven't heard of it explained that way before,
Tapples.
Yes, yeah.
But so therefore you would fill it in straight here and fill in that wee gap just there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take your eyebrows off.
Okie dokie.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to fill them in again the way
I'm
I
going
would
to do
it.
a close-up just so maybe you can see before what I've done, and I'm obviously no makeup artist, so, and none of us are, so this is lovely, and as I said, such a treat to have Zoe here. So now Zoe's going to take that off. So Zoe, just for everybody watching out there now, is it good to put your foundation and your powder on just to give it a bit of a base, or is it better just to have it fresh faced?
I would prefer, it definitely looks better if you've got a bit of foundation underneath and powder underneath. I just think the product sits better over the top. Now, of course, if you're going out the door, to be honest with you, my Desert Island product would be an eyebrow pencil.
Me too. That mascara.
It's so mad, but you don't. If you're only allowed one.
Oh, one. Yeah, brows.
It would be brown with me.
It would. Isn't
that weird?
Yeah.
We're both the same. Again, because I mean, certainly with me,
because
as
we're
we've
fair,
got,
I suppose.
We're fair. Also, both of us. Well, me particularly, I'd have quite a larger face. So without my brows, I sort of feel my face is a bit lost. So I would always put on, but it definitely looks better if you've got a bit of foundation on first. It looks more realistic.
Right.
I mean, but I'll always, if somebody comes to the front door, the first thing I'll do
me
is fill in
too.
my brows.
Yeah.
There's lots of different products. I'm actually going to use, because as you say, use the Anastasia. I mean, every brand will have something to do with eyebrows. I personally like to use a bit of a mix of products to make it look more realistic.
Yeah.
I would use a pencil and then maybe a bit of powder over the top and an eyeshadow sort of colour or something like that over the top, just to sort of set it.
Yeah.
Also, you can get little felt tip pens as well.
That's right,
that you can fill the hair.
I've got those, but I haven't been able to. I suppose you have to perfect it. You have to be.
Well, that's the whole thing. If you've got a wobbly hand,
Yeah.
or if you're a bit concerned, I mean, you see these things on Instagram and so on, and you think, oh, that looks great. You try to do it yourself, and you're like, oh,
Exactly.
dear, I look like Groucho Marx.
Yeah.
And it goes too far.
Yeah.
So basically, what I think for speed and for ease, the pencil works really well, right? And then I'll show you what I'm going to do. Now, actually, I'm going to use, like, there's lots of different products out there, as I said. This is an Irish brand. And
look.
Yeah, this is a brand called AU
Let's bring it up.
AU Cosmetics. Oh, yeah. And I really like the packaging because they sent this to me to
fab.
try it out.
Yeah.
And this fabulous box. I was like, oh, that's a bit nice. It's an online brand. They don't actually, I think they have a pop-up shop now in Dublin, in Kildare Village.
Yeah.
At the moment, but you can just order online, which I think is really
Excellent.
good.
So you can get it all online, and like that as well. Obviously, I'll link Anastasia and a few other products for everybody else in the States, and if you can't get that, but obviously it's online, so you can buy this one as well. So what do you have? You've brow pencil, the whole kit.
You can get easy brow pencil and gel, so that there's a brow pencil and a gel at the bottom to sort of push them up, which is a really great little product. But I'm actually just going to go straight in with the easy brow pencil. Okay, another one from AU Cosmetics. Now, another one that if you prefer just to get something a little less expensive, and I really like the shades that they come in and all the rest, is actually a really inexpensive brand called Catrice.
Yeah.
Catrice, which you can get in a lot of pharmacies and so on here in Ireland.
You can also get it in pennies or Primark, as you call it in the UK. I actually love their lip glosses. They're lovely as well.
Oh, that's a fabulous brand.
Yeah.
Really inexpensive, really effective. And this one, for example, is it's kind of like a flat greeny sort of colour, which I really like. If you're a little bit, there we go. See the way you can test the colours out in the back of your hand, and this is often what makeup artists do whenever we buy products. We check the colour just there, and we check the texture of things, because if whatever it does in the back of your hand, it's going to do to your face.
But also, I would never have thought of getting that colour. Now that you say it, like I'm learning something myself, I never would have picked that up because
exactly.
But yeah, it's like a grey, greeny kind of a taupey.
Taupey. That's the colour.
For those who like Hermes bags, it's like, what do you call that?
I don't know about Hermes.
No, but some people are mad on them, and it's now, it won't come to me the colour, but it's exactly that colour. I'll stick it on screen for you. It's exactly that colour, and it is
it's
fabulous.
Nice. Here's another thing that I wanted to say to you. Where there is hair on your face, whether it be here, if you have any hair, here, makeup's going to sit heavier and darker where there's hair.
Yeah.
So if you've got hair here already, and maybe you're sort of more baldy, as it were, here, you might go for 2 different colours of pencil. And again, that's why sometimes it's good to go for something a little less expensive, depending on your budget.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what I'm going to do here is, where you've got hair, I'm going to use something a bit lighter.
Right, okay.
And where you don't have hair, I'm going to go a little bit darker.
Oh, okay, brilliant.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, another thing as well is with the eyebrow shape, your eyebrow goes straight up here. Mm-hmm. So we're going to make this a little bit more square at the end, and I'm going to use the more blondie sort of colour, and I'm just going to brush up. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to draw the outline of the brow here on Vivienne, because now you can see that it's sticking more to where there's hair, and not so much, it's just looking a little bit fake and shiny where there's no hair, okay? So I'm just going to draw the outline of what we're after. Now, one thing you don't want to do as you get older is to droop it down too much at the end. It's going to pull your whole face down. But you don't want to look like Captain Spock from Star Trek either, okay? Where it
Stick in an image, Mariano.
That's it, exactly. Or, I mean, again, as I said, in the 1920s, 30s, if you think of Marlene Dietrich, I mean, her eyebrows were way up here. And a lot of drag queens as well, when they're doing their makeup to look more sort of female, they go really high.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing here is I'm actually going straight across and kind of a little bit down, more in sort of an arch, and I'm making them look a wee bit fuller, okay? Now, you wouldn't leave it like that.
Do you want me to go close up just to see?
Yes, if you want to, yeah. Do you see what I mean? It's sort of straight out.
It's a really nice shape.
Do you get the idea? But you can see just sort of here is where it's kind of looking a little bit not real. Now, you don't want to go out too far either, because you don't want it to over-emphasize, you know what I mean? So like where it takes over. So we're just going to go like that, and you see the way with Vivienne, because her skin's so good, I can do that. But again, if you're concerned at all, you know, because some people, they might have got quite wrinkly around here as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, and maybe when you have the deeper lines around this area, you kind of have a tendency of going into them. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, right,
so
okay.
Just remember all the time that no matter what's going on with your flesh around the face, your bones are still in the same place.
Yes, right.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a good tip, actually.
So that's the same, we might do something on blusher or something else.
That's a great tip, actually. I really would love to know, first of all, any questions that you have for Zoe, any problems that you have, because if you guys are interested in this kind of thing, we'd love to do a little series, or even if it's a mini series or once a month or whatever you might be interested in. And like if it's skincare tips or makeup tips or foundation or age or blah, 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 blah. She's the person to ask. So let me know. You gotta let me know, because we're not gonna make the videos if you're not interested in this kind of thing. So give us your feedback.
Can you see that's a little slanted brush like that? And it's a bit like an metallic pen. You can go like that with it, do you see? And it draws a bit of a line with shadow. Now, if you don't want to use pencil and you've actually got quite good eyebrows, but you just want to darken them down a bit, use a bit of shadow through your eyebrows, just on its own. But with Vivienne, because she has got little or no hair at the very end here, I'm going to use a powder to set the eyeshadow, stop it from making it look shiny, and to make it look a little bit more realistic. But again, your Anastasia products, you'll see there that you actually have
the lighter one on the other side.
The lighter one on the other side.
Yeah, I always tend to use the darker one, so I should really use both, should I?
I would suggest, you know, you can mix, but that's why they have the two colours.
Yes,
in here.
of course, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's the same in the AU bride kit as well. It's really nice. Yeah. So it's got the paler one and the darker one.
So you're saying to put the paler one where there's where there is hair.
Where there is hair.
Right.
And the darker one
where there's no hair. Oh, that would make sense. Yeah,
see what I mean?
Yes.
Because one is going to go naturally darker.
Yeah.
So I'm just going in here like this and just setting the whole thing. Now this should make your eyebrows even more waterproof as well. Now, if you are going into pool and you want it to last even longer for whatever reason, you can get the little felt tip pens that, again, from Catrice and Rimmel as well do them.
Yeah.
Where they come and they're like a little felt tipper.
That's right, yeah, like a little marker almost.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
and you can do sort of that with them, and when they dry, they're kind of budge proof.
Yeah.
And also sometimes if I've done it and I've gone, right, okay, the powder's on and it still doesn't look 100% realistic, I'll pick up one of these and sort of draw one or two little hairs in through it as well.
Lovely,
do you know?
yeah.
And it just makes it a little bit more realistic again. If you really want to go where people go, oh, no way, those eyebrows aren't real.
Yeah. And what make is that one now?
This one is Catrice as well.
Right, okay.
Catrice,
well, that's
but Rimmel do them.
Yes.
Actually, you'll find them in some of the big pharmacies, you know, in your drugstores or whatever. You'll find them.
It doesn't have to be expensive, says you. It just has to be the right colours, the more important thing.
Absolutely. Look at the difference now between one side of her face and the other.
I'm just going to go closer so we can see.
Do you see what I mean? Where one looks a bit... Now, I've done this a lot, even whenever I'm working with professional models. I mean, there's one particular picture which I might actually give to you, Vivienne, to put up, where you can actually see where I've filled in where the model had actually plucked away and did that tadpole thing.
Yeah.
And I filled it in so that it looked realistic on camera, and actually became a cover of a magazine.
Wow.
But if you look closely at it, you'll see that it's not 100%.
Wow.
Her, you know, if you're a makeup artist and you're there with your
that's amazing. So if you would like to know any more or see more of this kind of content and see more of the lovely Zoe, she's great crack and she is amazing. She doesn't make work feel like work, and they're my favourite kind of jobs. She is amazing at doing what she does. That's why she's been in the business for over 30 years, 25 years.
27.
27, is it?
Let's just...
Worked with all the supermodels. Who was your favourite supermodel, by the way?
Oh my goodness, supermodel. Oh gosh, that's a really tough question.
And you did Helena Christensen, I know. I think you did, Christy Turlington, did you do her? Did you do Naomi Campbell when she was here?
No, I didn't do anybody like that. No, well, I mean, I've just worked with quite a few people. At the moment, I'm working a lot with Sophie Anderton, who would have been the big model in the 90s. She's living here at the minute.
She's a supermodel herself, isn't she?
She did the bra campaign.
That's right, Jesus.
Yeah, it was everywhere. Yeah, it was kind of banned
The
in
Wonder
Ireland.
Bra.
Yes, it was banned over here.
Oh my God.
At the time.
Yeah, that was amazing. I was very jealous of that. But anyway. Listen, guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave all your comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll welcome Zoe back again. Zoe, thanks a mil.
No, pleasure.
Bye.